Thank you, Sean. Thank you. We've time for a few questions if anybody's there. I know we're running close to time, but I hope you sort of all enjoyed the flow of the session. Yep.
Susan Heslett, London Mathematical Society. I've got a short question for Sean. I was really surprised when you talked about using social media for a source, but you didn't talk about blogs and boring things like that, and even old-fashioned listservs. I mean, I know where I get most of my information about new mathematics developments, and it is through there. One doesn't have to read them all. There are only about 3 or 4 in the world that anybody bothers to use very much. So does this not work the way across other sciences?
I suppose, to be honest with you, I was running out of time. I had quite a lot of things that I could share, but ran out of time. I don't personally use blogs as my destination, but I do follow links from Twitter and from other things to get to blogs. I think that the journalists on the whole are still, well, science and technology journalists maybe especially, are still quite on the kind of early stages of using social media, and rightly or wrongly, and possibly it's even a threat. I don't know. That's not speaking for anybody else. That's just potential pitfall, I would say.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I'm Linda Dilla. I have my own business doing science communications, and I've been on both sides, on the director of communications side and as a science writer. And the one piece of advice I could give to publishers here is that there are professional societies for science writers as well. There's a British Science Writing Association, there's a National Science Writing Association in America, and if you wanted to think about doing access for these professional associations, you could do so because they accredit each person as a member of these associations. So you're not going to get the crackpots. You're going to be getting the people who actually are professionals and who use this information for their research. So that's just another added comment.
That's a great point.
Sean, I've always had a puzzle. You read in the newspapers about a scientific discovery or even an OEC report, and it always just says the OEC report said X, Y, Z, or the World Bank said this, or the EU said that, and there's never ever a link to the report. Why don't newspapers put links to the reports?
I've never actually worked on a newspaper, so I don't know from that situation. I suspect linking is easier in a web environment. Because you can then provide links to papers and things.
I was referring to their websites. They just never do the links to the original reports. And it's a puzzle for me. Why don't journalists, who presumably want their stories to be verified, point to the report? Because it never happens.
There is the possibility they don't want them verified. That's not an official stance.
Can I quote you?
I have a story about that I can share later.
Okay, well, thank you. One more round of applause for the speakers.